So I want to take some time to walk you guys through what we do here at Julius. As you can see right from our homepage, like our goal is to make everyone effectively a data analyst, whether you're technical, whether you're non-technical. Ultimately, this makes life easier for both the non-technical and the technical folks on your team. If you are technical, then it just means that you have to spend less time handling requests from your non-technical folk around pulling data and insights. And if you're non-technical, it allows you to become that much more of a Swiss Army knife for your team and allows you to make really strong and data-driven insights. And especially with our most recent connectors launch, our goal is to pull data and integrate data from all of your sources so that you have one centralized repository that you're able to speak with in natural language, just writing basic natural language queries, and you're able to gather your insights from all these different sources. We just, for example, added a Google Ads connector. So let's say you have sales data, you have an ads connector. You can query both of these simultaneously and say, for this campaign, this marketing campaign that we just ran, how did that do? How did the promotion that we ran from a separate table, how did that promotion that we ran impact the marketing campaign? When we activated this one motion, did that have a tangible business impact? And this is where the magic of Julius long-term and the Data Connectors platform comes into play. We already have specialized in analysis. Now being able to specialize in managing your data and pulling from different data sources with Julius is where we really start to be able to see a lot of the magic happen. Hey everyone, we're going to walk through Julius today, go through some of the product and explore some of the functionality that makes Julius so special, especially for companies. Now, as we go enter Julius, we're going to pull up the chat. Let's open up a thread. The first thing that we're interested in doing, and this is something that we're super excited about here at Julius, is playing around with our data connectors. So if I come in, we're going to go into our demo Postgres database. You'll see a quick modal pop up so that you can just make sure that you are actually connecting to your database. And in a second, we're going to see some of these tables start to appear on the right column. Now that they've come up, we can start to query Julius as well, when this is really just querying your own database. So if you think about what the work of a SQL editor does, this is the same thing, except instead of typing in SQL, you're just typing in natural language. So let's explore some of our tables. Show me 10 rows from our call center table. And Julius will be able to go through, explore what is going on in your tables, explore the data types that are there, and return some output for you. So this is a pretty basic query that we're running at the moment. We can go step up the analysis in just a second here. And here we see some of the output that Julius came up with. Here are some of the details on our table. You can see some more of the columns coming in, some of the details of the rows and those cell values. Let's go explore some of our customers right now. All right, so here we're just asking Julius to run a quick EDA on some of our customer tables. And I'm a visual learner, so let's show some visuals too. Let's see how Julius is able to go through and broach examining from multiple tables, merging from multiple tables, creating those joins, and then finding analysis that's appropriate for what we're looking for. Now, right now, we're just exploring around our database, and so we'll see what it finds interesting. Then we can narrow down our queries from there. Now, there are going to be times where Julius doesn't know what's going on in your tables if you don't have clearly defined tables. And so the great thing about having a containerized environment is being able to have multiple tries, whereas if you're plugging directly into, say, ChatGPT, if it gets it wrong, you're going to be in trouble because it's not going to be able to have another run at that. So if you are running a query here, a SQL query directly on your data, it results in an error. Then what Julius does is it goes ahead and tries again on that query or changes the query based on what it's learning as it goes along. Now, if you're interested, you can also see some of the breakdown of how it's thinking about these. You can click into some of the tables that it's looking through. And if you ever want to verify the analysis that it's running, it has all of the Python code available to you to verify that analysis. Now it looks like it's graphing out something here, so let's see what it turns out with in a second. All right, this is some interesting breakdown of our customer data. See gender distribution, custom age distribution. If you notice, there's a little download button on all of these. So if you download the image files, these download as PNGs. You can export directly to Google Drive or other sources, or export it as whatever the base file type is. So it's pretty interesting. This is interesting. And so we can analyze this a little bit further. I think for the purpose of this, I want to go ahead and move on to just creating an analysis report. I think this is ready to go, and I want to share it with members of my team. So come up to this top right corner here, click Generate Analysis Report. It'll open up another file for you to view. And this is going to contain only really the most important elements of your analysis that you're doing. It's going to ignore all of the code. Just get to the point. And so you'll have this quick file here that you can share with your team. You can download this as a PDF or view the source, which is the chat for the report. Now we'll go back real quick. That is a quick overview of threads connected directly to your data. One thing I find really interesting here with Julius is, especially if you're talking about a working environment where, let's say you have data coming in on a weekly cadence of your revenue from different branches of your business around the country. You know, if we come into our notebooks here, we can run through and query multiple things in succession. So if we have a specific process on, say, that revenue that we're bringing in from different branches, and we want to come in and every single week, you know, on Monday, come to the office, we want to clean the data source, we want to explore what might be an outlier in terms of week over week performance, and then we want to generate a report around that. Here you can add multiple cells of prompts that allow you to just do all of that in one step. You come up here, you press Run All, and all of a sudden you have a full analysis and effectively what is a dashboard for you and for your team. So all right, so right now we're uploading our credit card file just with some generic credit card data. And the first thing that I wanted to do is run an exploratory data analysis. Then I wanted to create some visuals, so we'll explicitly tell it to do that in the next step. And then finally, I think the most important thing for us on our credit card data is finding any outliers or potential fraudulent data here. All right, so if we come in here, we just run all cells from here. You're going to see all of these run in succession. All of these are prompt cells. You can change the cell type. Here we have a source cell. The rest of these are prompt cells. You can change the cell type based on whatever it is that you need. I think what's really cool about this isn't just limited to you. So what I mean by that is if you are running this analysis and you want your team members to be in the loop every step of the way, you can come up to the share button here and share it with your team, and then your personal notebook gets transferred to a team notebook. Now, vice versa, if you have something that's in a team notebook and you want to take it back to your own side of things and run some analysis privately before you share all the findings with your team, you can convert that right back into your own notebook as well. Now, this gets a little bit into, and I'll walk through this as we start to see some of the output here. This gets into some of the power of having teams set up on Julius too. We don't want findings. It doesn't make much sense for them to just be for yourself. Like, you're finding things so that your team is able to learn from those, so that you're able to pass those on. whether that is as a company, whether it's a student, whether it's running your own startup, whatever it might be. It makes a lot of sense to share these learnings along with other people that are on your team so that everyone's up to speed and you're able to make important decisions around the inputs that Julius is producing for you. So as we see, we ran our initial analysis on our credit card data here. Some interesting findings to begin with. We're going to demonstrate some visuals as that second prompt. And similar to before, once this is all done, we can generate an analysis report that's easy to share and transfer to the rest of your team too if they're outside of the Julius workspace. We're moving on to our final step here. Here we can see imports for sklearn. We're building an actual model to determine fraudulent activity and figure out what exactly an outlier might look like here. So this is all stuff that data scientists do, and we really want to make the work of data scientists a lot easier in the sense that instead of building the models, instead of thinking about how they're going to build those, they can spend all their time thinking about what are the problems that they really need to solve and what are the generalized ways of solving those so that they can put them into prompts. Now, all of this in the near term is going to start leading towards, okay, we can connect our data directly to its source. From there, what's most important? We want to be able to build dashboards. We want to be able to build things that are repeatable and connected to our data. And so these scheduled runs turned into dashboards long term for your data so that you don't have to worry about, okay, I need to go into Julius even and start running through these. Take that a step further. This is just available to you and your team all the time with constant real-time analysis based on the data that you're seeing in your database. And that is something that is in the near term on our roadmap now that we have rolled out a lot of our data connectors. At the moment, we have connectors for BigQuery, for Postgres, for Snowflake. We've rolled out Google Drive and OneDrive, and we're adding more connectors and integrations on really a day-to-day basis. I'm honestly losing track of how many we're rolling out. But that's something where if anyone's interested in setting up a chat, we can always talk offline about that and go through what exact connection needs that you have. If we don't have them already, we can add them pretty quickly. And so that's pretty much all we got from Julius. I think once you start inviting your team members, you especially start to see some of the magic take off with how powerful this is. If you have any questions, always feel free to reach out. Thanks.